Howdy folks, and welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about the Jambassadors. When you think about the Jambassadors, you most likely think about the original Jambassadors, like Wisteria, Bepper, Apari, and all of the people from back in the 2010s and so. For a lot of people, the Jambassadors were a big chunk of nostalgia for them from their childhood, and while some people know that, well, they grew up and they grew out of Animal Jam, what a lot of people know but aren't super aware of is the fact that there are even Jambassadors now, new ones, and quite a few of them. But you really don't hear about the modern day Jambassadors that much, not from the community anyway. They're still there, but you normally don't have to interact with them unless you're really active on Instagram or participate in any of the Instagram competitions that Animal Jam hosts. But it's not like the Jambassadors aren't making content or putting content out there, and it's not like the Jambassadors don't have a following. So why is it that we don't really hear too much about the Jambassadors? And why is it that when we do hear about the Jambassadors, it's usually controversial? It's come to my attention recently from some conversations I had in Discord as well as in Animal Jam that a lot of people have negative perceptions of the Jambassadors. There's a few reasons for this, so I'm going to go through those first. The biggest thing that I heard about the new Jambassadors is that they, quote-unquote, hit different. They're not the same as the old Jambassadors, and some people can't really put a finger on it, but I'm going to do that for you. For one, I hear a lot of people who are complaining about the Jambassadors tend to be a little bit over the age range that Animal Jam is geared towards, typically around the ages of 16, 17, or 18, as opposed to the target audience of Animal Jam, that being 7 to 12. And as a result of that really young age demographic, the Jambassadors are going to put out content that appeals to those people of that age, which means the content may seem immature, childish, or even patronizing to people who are older. And the thing is, that kind of content and attitude is not absent from the original Jambassadors channels. The thing is that when you were watching it when you were younger, you were the age demographic that the Jambassadors produced content for. And now you have nostalgia that makes you see it as more positive as you would the new Jambassadors who you have no nostalgia for. So unfortunately, a big reason as to why people of an older age demographic may not like the new Jambassadors is because they're simply too old for them. However, there was another thing about the Jambassadors that I keep seeing being brought up again and again in social spaces for Animal Jam, and that's the fact that they don't seem to like Jambassadors because they're always on AJHQ's side and seem to parrot information that AJHQ wants us to believe. This topic came with a lot of misinformation about what Jambassadors are, what Jambassadors do, and what they're told to do by AJHQ themselves. And it's a little bit more complex than they say anything that AJHQ tells them to say, because that's just straight not true. For starters, there's a big misconception that Jambassadors are being paid for what they do, when in actuality, being a Jambassador isn't a job nor is it a paid position. It's something that the Jambassadors completely volunteer to do in their own time and with their own resources. There may be promotional events, such as the event in which the AJ Play Code was being advertised up the wazoo, where Jambassadors are being paid to promote content. However, these are just for short promotional periods. They're not being paid on the regular. And this applies to both in real life as well as on Animal Jam. Jambassadors are not given a hoard of items or sapphires or wealth to use and to keep for themselves. They're not given an in-game incentive to be Jambassadors either. The most that they do get are items that they use to promote the game, or items that they use to give out during contests and competitions. So, in short, the Jambassadors are not being given any form of financial compensation or any sort of money in order to say what AJHQ wants them to say. They're not being paid off. However, that doesn't mean that there's certain things that they're not supposed to be saying, but it's not what you might think. Jambassadors have signed an NDA. If you don't know what an NDA, it's a non-disclosure agreement, which is some legal papers you have to sign to agree with a company that there's some information that they will give you that you will not share, and if you share it, you can get in legal trouble. However, the Jambassadors themselves have come out and said that this information isn't to have them covering AJHQ's butt. Instead, they've signed the NDA for a few reasons. For one, they have video conferences with developers at AJHQ to learn about upcoming events and upcoming updates before anyone else. If this NDA was not in place, that means they would have no incentive whatsoever to keep it a secret until the update comes out. They could just hear new information and then leak it to the public, and then all of the hype for the new animals, the new dens throughout months, it's gone. Another reason that Jambassadors have to sign an NDA is because during these events and these conferences, they're going to be seeing employees from WildWorks, and they sign this NDA to also agree that they won't share any of the personal information of the people that they talk to. None of this whatsoever means that the Jambassadors have to always be in favor of AJHQ, unlike what some people may believe. And this doesn't mean they have to be a constant beacon of positivity. The real reason that Jambassadors may come off this way is because, for one, Jambassadors aren't children like a lot of Animal Jam's fan base. They're adults with adult emotions who are more likely to handle disappointment and other negative emotions calmly, behind the scenes, or in a more civil way, rather than acting in outrage if Animal Jam does something they don't agree with. They're also more likely to recognize WildWorks as the corporate entity it is, rather than a game they really enjoy playing. It kind of comes with the age and experience. Another thing is that Jambassadors more often than not become Jambassadors in order to spread positivity. That's why they want to be Jambassadors. Hey, that's why I want to be a Jambassador one day, so they can make other players happy. And in doing so, they're less likely to spread negativity and negative information because they want to be positive. They want to make people happy. They don't want everyone seeing all of the negativity they see everywhere else, all of the drama you might hear on other people's pages. They're supposed to be the light source. And it's okay if you don't like that. It's okay if you don't like the content they put out, or you simply prefer the older Jambassadors, the more carefree nature that they had. It doesn't mean that other people aren't allowed to like it, though. That's the beauty of being able to have your own opinion. So, in short, Jambassadors don't seem to be the way they were back in 2015 simply because they're different people catering towards a younger audience in a different time. Well, I hope I was able to shed some light onto the whole thing with Jambassadors, and I hope you're looking forward to some videos in the future. I know this isn't my most inspired one that I've had recently, but after seeing a couple arguments about Jambassadors in Discord servers, I thought that I wanted to put in my own 2 cents. I have planned to put out another commentary-style video sometime this upcoming week, probably around Wednesday or Thursday, so I hope you guys enjoy, and until next time, I'll see y'all around.